We live in a world that often feels chaotic and demanding. The constant pressure to succeed, the fear of missing out, and the relentless stream of information can take a toll on our mental well-being. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, exhausted, and disconnected. Mental wellness is not just about the absence of mental illness, it's about cultivating a state of emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It's about feeling good about ourselves, having healthy relationships, and being able to cope with life's challenges. In a world that often prioritizes external achievements, it's easy to neglect our inner landscape. But the truth is, our mental health is just as important as our physical health. When we neglect our mental well-being, it affects every aspect of our lives. It's time to start talking more openly and honestly about mental health. It's time to break down the stigma and create a culture where people feel safe to reach out for help, because the truth is we all struggle sometimes. And that's okay. For too long, mental health has been shrouded in silence. We whisper about it in hushed tones, afraid of the judgment and shame that might follow. This silence only perpetuates the stigma and prevents people from seeking the help they need. We need to start talking about mental health openly and honestly. We need to normalize conversations about anxiety, depression, and other mental health challenges. Just like we talk about physical health, we should feel comfortable discussing our mental well-being. When we share our stories, we realize we're not alone. We break down the walls of isolation and create space for connection and healing. Talking about mental health also helps to educate others and dispel harmful myths and misconceptions. It's time to break the silence. It's time to let people know it's okay to not be okay. And it's time to create a world where everyone feels safe and supported in seeking help. Stigma thrives in silence and misinformation. It's time to challenge the harmful stereotypes and misconceptions that surround mental health. Mental illness is not a sign of weakness, it's not a choice, and it doesn't discriminate. Mental health challenges can affect anyone, regardless of their age, race, gender, or socio-economic status. These challenges are often rooted in a complex interplay of genetic, biological, environmental, and social factors. It's important to remember that mental illness is treatable. With the right support, people can and do recover. Diet, therapy, and lifestyle changes can all play a role in managing mental health conditions. Let's work together to create a world where mental illness is met with compassion and understanding, not judgment and fear. We live in a culture that often glorifies busyness, achievement, and perfection. We're bombarded with messages that tell us we need to be doing more, achieving more, and being more. These societal pressures can take a toll on our mental well-being. The pressure to present a perfect image on social media, the constant comparison to others, and the fear of failure can leave us feeling inadequate and overwhelmed. It's important to remember that what we see on social media is often a curated highlight reel, not an accurate reflection of reality. We need to give ourselves permission to slow down, to prioritize our well-being, and to define success on our own terms. It's okay to set boundaries, to say no, and to put our mental health first. Remember, true strength lies in vulnerability, in authenticity, and in the courage to live a life that is true to ourselves, not the expectations of others. I'll admit, talking about mental health publicly wasn't easy for me at first. As a researcher and someone who often speaks about vulnerability, I felt a responsibility to project an image of strength and resilience. But the truth is, I've struggled with anxiety and shame for much of my life. It was through my own journey of healing that I learned the transformative power of vulnerability. When we allow ourselves to be seen, truly seen, in our imperfections and struggles, we open ourselves up to connection, empathy, and healing. Sharing my story wasn't about seeking sympathy or attention. It was about breaking down the stigma and letting others know they're not alone. It was about showing that it's possible to live a full and meaningful life even while navigating mental health challenges. By embracing my vulnerability, I found my voice, my strength, and my purpose. And in the process, I discovered the incredible power of human connection. One of the most powerful antidotes to shame and isolation is knowing that we're not alone in our struggles. When we hear other people share their stories of mental health challenges, we realize that our experiences are valid, our feelings are real, and we're worthy of love and support. There's a profound sense of relief that comes with knowing that others understand what it's like to live with anxiety, depression, or other mental health conditions. It's a reminder that we're part of a larger human experience and that even in our darkest moments, we're connected to something greater than ourselves. Sharing our stories can be a powerful act of courage and healing. It can help us to make sense of our experiences, to connect with others who understand, and to find hope for the future. Remember, your story matters. Your voice has the power to inspire, to heal, and to create positive change. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to acknowledge when we're struggling and to reach out for support. Yet so many people suffer in silence, afraid of being judged or perceived as weak. Seeking help is an act of self-love. It's a way of honoring our needs, our well-being, and our worthiness of support. When we reach out for help, we're taking a proactive step towards healing and creating a more fulfilling life. There are many different avenues for seeking support, including therapy, support groups, medication, and lifestyle changes. It's important to find what works best for you and to remember that healing is a journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never be afraid to ask for help along the way. We should embrace our imperfections and break free from judgment. We live in a culture that often celebrates perfectionism and judges those who don't measure up to unrealistic standards. This pressure to be perfect can be incredibly damaging to our mental well-being. It's time to let go of the need to be perfect and to embrace our imperfections. Our flaws, our mistakes, and our vulnerabilities are what make us human. They're what make us unique, relatable, and worthy of love and belonging. When we embrace our imperfections, we free ourselves from the shackles of self-criticism and judgment. We create space for self-acceptance, compassion, and growth. Remember, you are enough just as you are. You are worthy of love and belonging, imperfections and all. Supporting one another, we are building a culture of compassion. Creating a world where mental health is valued and supported requires a collective effort. We all have a role to play in building a culture of compassion, understanding, and support. We can start by educating ourselves about mental health, challenging stigma, and speaking out against discrimination. We can listen with empathy to those who are struggling, offer words of encouragement, and let them know they're not alone. We can also support organizations that are working to improve mental health services and advocate for policies that promote mental well-being. Together, we can create a world where everyone feels safe, supported, and empowered to prioritize their mental health. Prioritizing your well-being. Small steps with a big impact. Taking care of our mental health doesn't require grand gestures or radical changes. It's often the small, everyday actions that make the biggest difference. Here are a few simple yet powerful ways to prioritize your well-being. Make time for activities that bring you joy and relaxation, whether it's reading, listening to music, spending time in nature, or connecting with loved ones. Make time for activities that nourish your soul. Practice mindfulness and gratitude. Take time to appreciate the good things in your life, no matter how small. Focus on the present moment and let go of worries about the past or future. Prioritize sleep, exercise, and nutrition. Taking care of your physical health is essential for your mental well-being. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of sleep each night. Engage in regular physical activity and nourish your body with healthy foods. Set boundaries and learn to say no. It's okay to prioritize your needs and to say no to requests that drain your energy or compromise your well-being. Connect with others. Strong social connections are crucial for mental health. Make time for meaningful conversations, spend time with loved ones, and reach out to your support system when you need it. Remember, taking care of your mental health is an ongoing journey, not a destination. Be patient with yourself, celebrate your progress, and never be afraid to ask for help along the way. Let's change the narrative together. We stand at a pivotal moment. The conversation around mental health is finally opening up, and we have a collective opportunity to change the narrative. Let's move from a place of silence and shame to a place of courage, compassion, and understanding. This isn't just about individual well-being, it's about creating a world where everyone feels safe, supported, and empowered to prioritize their mental health. We all have a role to play in this movement. Share your stories, challenge the stigma, advocate for change. Together, let's build a world where it's not only okay to not be okay, but where seeking help is seen as a sign of strength and a catalyst for healing. We'd greatly appreciate it if you were able to comment down below on your own experiences with mental health. And be sure to check out another relevant, valuable video on our channel.